Hi guys, welcome back to Eric's Hobby Workshop. Today we're going to be turning these dull old templates into dynamic effects that look amazing on the tabletop. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so the way we're going to start this project off is with some of these cheap tea lights. I bought these at Michael's. I'll put a link in the description though for something similar. As you can see, there's a switch on the bottom, and as we build these things we're going to leave that switch exposed so obviously we can turn them on and off. Next up we're going to need some cotton balls. These are just the normal cotton balls that your mom would tend to a boo-boo on your knee with. Okay, you know, whatever else you use cotton balls for. I don't know, applying astringent to your delicate nose. I don't know. Yeah. So get yourself a little dish and add a bit of water. And then I'm going to take a paint and mix some of that paint in. In this case I'm using green from Blick, a matte acrylic. Just a few squirts should do it. Mix that in with a little coffee stir stick. And we get this nice green soup that I'm going to stuff some of these cotton balls into. Make sure you wear a rubber glove for this unless you want to have green hands like some sort of tanner's apprentice or something like that. So, squeeze those out. Oh yeah. All day, baby. Squeezing it out. Come on. Nice. Lay out some paper towel and set those to dry. You can see there's some spots of a brighter green. Don't worry about those. Those will just add to the effect later on. So using your thumb and forefinger, tease them apart a little bit. This will help them to dry. When they're super dense, they're not going to dry very quickly. Next, I'm going to make an apparatus to try to get these things to dry even faster. So I took a waste paper basket and a blow dryer and I started tumbling the cotton balls around, and I quickly realized this was not going to happen as quickly as I wanted it to. There's quite a lot of moisture trapped inside these things. And so I set up a top secret proprietary thing that I'll show you guys here, just for you guys only this one time. This special technology. Anyways, while that's working, I'm gonna go ahead and use a compass, measuring out my radius to make the exact diameter of the templates. Trace that out on some medium chipboard and cut it out. And from there I've got to crack into these incredibly tough candles. Once I've done that, there's a little piece in the bottom with the LED on it that just pops right out. And as long as that apparatus is intact, the light still works, it's all good. You don't need any of that extra candle-y looking bit. Gone. Alright, so once I've got that, I'm going to put it in the middle of my piece of chipboard and trace out where the edges are. And that'll allow me to cut a little hole so I can access the on-off switch from the bottom. This is a good thing to remember to do before you glue it on. Trust me, I know from experience. So once it's on there, now I paint the whole thing black with some cheap acrylic paint. And by this time, my cotton balls should be boiling rapidly. And look how nice and dry and fluffy they are. Beautiful. So I take them and I tease them between my thumb and forefinger again to try to get them as light and fluffy and billowy as possible, because I want this to look like a poison gas or something. And when I have them as fluffy as I want, I put a generous bead of hot glue onto my apparatus and I just stick them in there. Working from the center outwards, I glue on these balls and get that nice puffy gas cloud look. Now the secret to this is the areas where the balls are adjacent to each other, teasing them together. Using your thumb and forefinger to sort of rip and twist and tear them together so they act as one large cloud rather than just a chunk of balls, which won't look right. And in doing that, you get some of the swirling gas effects that end up looking really cool. So I make sure that I have them glued down all around the edges to try to have the borders be as sharp as possible. And I'm left with a pretty cool looking gas cloud. Nice. I'm going to do some orange ones as well, because I'm going to try to make a nice flame effect now. I found as I was doing this that the orange was not vibrant enough. When I squeezed it out, almost all the color came out. You can see how pale those cotton balls are after being squeezed out. And I wasn't particularly happy with this, so I went and got some orange ink, which has much more density of pigment. And I added that orange ink in there, and then it was orange enough. And as I was making these things, I couldn't help but think how much they look like Cheetos or something like that. But do not eat these, you won't enjoy it, I promise you. So I put those to dry in my special proprietary tumbler. As you can see, there's some yellow ones in there as well. Since I've already showed you orange and green, I'm guessing you guys can figure out how to make those. And this is a different type of tea light. It's very similar, but it has a smaller LED. It's a little bit more orange and a little bit less bright. But I'm going to use this for the flame template. And we'll see how it works. My idea here is I'm going to use this glue stick as sort of a fiber optic, something that conducts the light along the length of the glue stick and radiates from that internal tube. Yeah, this might work. That's looking pretty cool, I guess, so far. Okay, so let's trace the flame template. Some of you new gamers might not recognize this flame template. It's a mainstay from old Warhammer, and it's still used in Necromunda. I'm pretty sure the new edition of 40k doesn't use it. I'm not a big 40k player, but if you're a real gamer, you should know what these are, and you should have one or two kicking around anyways. Yeah. So anyways, I cut the tip off of it, as you can see. That cone shape towards the end is going to be sort of up in the air, so I don't want any contact with the table for that part. But I do want to maintain the shape. And so with a little bit of experimentation, I'm seeing that it's too dark towards the end. So I'm going to add another LED and glue that one on there. So anyways, similar to before, I'm teasing out these yellow and orange ones. Pretty sure I used yellow for the whole thing. The orange ones ended up too Cheeto-y, but I'm teasing them out and I'm gluing them on in the same billowy way as before, trying to use my thumb and forefinger to tease them together and to get as much of an organic, fluffy shape as possible. I know I always talk about this, but it's really helpful to have reference pictures. There's lots of cool pictures of guys using flamethrowers on the internet, even if you can't find a real picture of a dragon breathing fire or something. That should do it. And from there, I'm going to dust the end of it from the end onwards with some red spray paint. The one that I used here is Mephiston Red from Games Workshop, but you don't have to use an expensive Games Workshop paint. That's just what I had lying around because I have some Blood Angels I'm trying to paint. And then also a little dusting of black paint on the end. And what that's going to do is give it that dirty black smoky look. And from there I tease it out a little bit so I get some of that yellow peeking through the corners in the cracks. And there we have it. Here's our completed templates. They look alright in daylight. The one on the right here is just a smoke template. That's for Necromunda. There's a Remain in Play 5-inch smoke template. That's just using the black dusting step and uncolored white cotton balls. But these things really shine in low light. So let's get some low light settings and see how they look. Cool. Now that's a flamethrower. This green one works really well as a gas grenade. One of the Escher ladies here, they're known for gas grenades. Here's Nicodemus using a big gout of fire to discourage some zombies. One of my favorite things about this look is the way that it lights up the things around it in a dynamic and cool way. A lot of people spend a lot of time doing object source lighting paint jobs, but this is the easier way. So if you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, share with your friends, leave a comment down below telling me what you thought, and give it a try yourself. If you want to support the channel, as I mentioned before, there's going to be some affiliate links in the description, as well as a link to my Patreon. I just uploaded a cool behind the scenes video for the patrons, talking about the bits that I have and the projects that are upcoming, and sort of going deep into my thought process when making these things. So yeah, hope to see you guys there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Eric's Hobby Workshop.